In episode 123, we head back to the northwest of the USA, Portland, Oregon to be precise, to taste the Westward Single Malt American whiskey.
And in this episode, we travel all the way back to Portland, Oregon to try the Westward American Single Malt whiskey.
Can you tell I didn't write anything for Dave there? Why not head over to our social media accounts at Whisky and Things Podcast on Instagram and at Whisky and Things on Facebook and Twitter.
Yes, do that. What Nick said. It's a great idea.
Yeah, and rate, review, and subscribe on podcast platforms if you got a spare.
Yeah. Do that as well, please.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for coming.
You're listening to Whisky and Things with Nick Kent and Dave Giles.
Welcome to episode 123. Episode 123. I'm Dave Giles.
It's as easy as ABC. And I'm Nick Kent. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back. Or welcome if you're new.
Welcome if you're new and listening in Spain while you're on holiday.
Yeah, listening to 122 episodes straight.
Mate, do you know what's really weird? I think, obviously, it's probably, I don't know much about this, but we've been hanging around in the Malaysian podcast charts for quite a while now.
Have we?
No, it's
loitering.
Hang on, is it Malaysia or is it Mauritius? Let me just look it up.
You're Mauritius, Dave.
Oh, thank you very much. Singapore and South Korea. We're currently 94 in the podcast charts in South Korea.
My career's going south. We're where?
Number 94, down 11 places on the Apple Podcast charts in the leisure section.
Down 11 places in the Malaysian chart. In leisure.
In the Malaysian leisure podcast chart on Apple iTunes. Yes.
Well, it's time to pack it in then, isn't it, Dave? Really? You ask me.
That's it. All done.
What's the point? Tell you what, I'll do an extra couple.
Yeah. We're above. Number 95 is one called Retronauts, which is fun. But yes, I don't know who's listening out there. If you are, hello. South Korean people.
Hello.
I mean, no one ever gets in contact from those places, so I really don't know how that works. But yeah, Singapore. We've been in Singapore for ages, or in and out. It's pretty amusing. I don't know how it works, Nick. But anyway.
No, I don't know. Don't ask me.
I won't.
Yeah, he hasn't.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, thank you. Did you enjoy the heatwave? Are you over it? Did you? We did record in the heatwave last week, didn't we?
Did we record in the heatwave last week?
Definitely. Oh, yes, we did.
Was it Monday?
Yeah, no, I think it was Tuesday we did it, didn't we? Oh, no, it might be the Monday. No,
it was Monday.
It
wasn't peak heat.
It wasn't peak heat.
Yeah.
But good Lord.
Did you go for any more runs during the heat wave?
I did not go for any more runs. But I tell you what I did go for, right?
Oh, yeah.
On peak heat day, remember the day? Yeah. It was like 40 odd some places. It was 38 up here. In the evening, I was just sitting down, had all the windows open, and I sat down to watch a movie in the evening to have a bit of relaxation time. And I thought, I'll have a whiskey. I'll pour myself a whiskey. So I poured myself a Western American Oak. We all know I love it. Yeah. And I sat down in the Glencairn, and mate, it was the warmest whiskey I've ever had in my life. It had cooked my whiskey. So it was like
wow.
Of course, it was room temperature, and the room was boiling.
Really hot.
Basically. So I was like, no, it's still nice, but, it wasn't. It was a bit weird, like drinking lukewarm tea, and it's kind of... Anyway. Next day, went to Tesco. Guess what's on offer?
Don't know.
Dalwhinnie. Winter's Gold, mate.
Oh, that's what you wanted, mate. What you wanted.
£25 with a club card, down from 41. Straight in my basket. Straight in my freezer. Yes. As were two Glencairns. Next night, I thought, it still wasn't peak heat, but still warm. I was like, yeah.
Oh, so mate, that's superb.
I thought, fancy that. Got it out. It was all like frosty on the Glencairn. This nice chilled Dalwhinnie Winter's Gold. Yeah. Well, everyone highly recommend that.
Why did you have your windows open?
Because to try to get some draft through.
Right. Okay.
I needed a bit of. I needed the breeze, mate. I know what you mean. You're meant to keep them shut and all that, but the sun comes straight through and heats my room anyway.
Have you got curtains?
No, I haven't. The blinds.
Do they block out much of the sun?
They're all right. They're like office blinds.
You need to get something, mate.
Nah.
Well, you do. That's why your room was so hot. Need blackout blinds.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Let's
talk about some whiskey.
Yeah, let's talk about that in blinds and things. Yeah, let's pour ourselves a dram.
This week's whiskey.
Westward, American single malt whiskey.
We've done Westland. We've done Starward. This is not a collaboration between the two.
Yes, one being Australian, the other being just up the road in Seattle. So this is from Portland, Oregon, which is just a few miles south. Just down the road, I say. A few miles south of... They'd call it just down the road.
They would call it down the road, but it's the length of the UK.
It's probably about a 6-hour drive or something like that. But yes, we first tried this at the whiskey show, didn't we?
We did, because again, we were like, Westward, North American, Northwest American. We like the Westland.
We like single malts from the
we
Northwest.
should like this, which is ridiculous, isn't it? Because it's like saying that because you like something from Orkney, i.e. Highland Park, then you're going to like Bimber. That's how far away these distilleries are from each other.
Yeah.
We like Westland. We should like Westward.
Absolutely. Well, they've got the same name, nearly.
Exactly.
So we're going to love it. Portland. You ever been to Portland?
I haven't. I've never been to Oregon. It's one of the states I've not been to.
Yeah, I've been to Portland. Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. A few years ago.
That sounded a bit like, I've been to Portland. Oh, yeah.
Well, funnily enough, Dave, I've got three little facts here about Portland.
Oh, yeah. You sounded like the guy from the Boys with his rubbish Cockney accent. I've been to Portland.
Oh, yeah. Don't be it. Well, all right. I had three facts. I'll say the last one first. That the fact that Portland has the most strip clubs per capita in the US. So
no wonder you went there.
I've been to Portland.
I've been to Portland.
I've been to Portland.
Yes. Okay. Interesting.
Yep. The city has the world's smallest park in it. They have a park which is 24 inches wide. It's like a circle.
What's the point?
I don't know. It's just there, mate.
Isn't that just a patch of grass? Like we have them everywhere.
Yeah, it's basically a telephone pole hole, which was just dirt.
But they've called it a park.
Yeah, in 1971 they turned it into a park.
Right.
Yeah,
but if you can't hang out in the park,
you could stand in it. A couple of you could.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you probably could on this one.
25 inches, mate.
It's called the Mill Ends Park. Anyway, there you go. Another one. You got to love these facts. The city's name was decided on the toss of a coin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had two ideas: Portland or Boston. And they flipped the coin, and Portland is what won, apparently. Boston, Oregon.
Boston, Oregon. They love doing that in America. There's loads of multiple city, like the Springfield, I think, is the city that's got the most names, or something like that, or Shelbyville. Like, and I know that sounds like I'm joking, but it's definitely,
I think
and they're always next to each other as well.
You've told me that before. Yeah,
there is something like that. I'm sure of it. I may have that wrong.
You stole our lemon tree.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, excellent.
Anyway, so you talk about
good
this.
Reference.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about.
I used to do the turnip juice one. Cool glass of turnip juice. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Right. So, origin, Portland. We just talked about that. To great lengths. Hope you're still here, everyone.
Yes.
Right. This is I'd say their flagship. Really, this is their core single malt whiskey.
What's it called? It's the American single malt, right? American
single malt. Yes. No age statement, but I understand it's 3.5 years. That's what I found on there. 45% ABV, 100% malted barley, of course. Distillation, double, just like Scotch. In fact, they kind of they pride themselves. Well, one of their things they talk about is the way they make their whiskey. They brew like a pale ale. They make like an artisan pale ale, apparently, which includes roasting the barley, much like how Westland do, all that kind of stuff. Not going to compare them too much, but there's going to be a bit of a comparison because they're in the same part of the world and they kind of do things kind of the same. Yeah, distill like a single malt, they say, which is double. And then they age like a bourbon, which is in fresh American oak, slightly toasted.
Toasted.
So there we go. So yeah, which is, you kind of think, yes, one thing, those ingredients make, a single malt taste different from a Scotch, for example, because, Scotch mainly use ex-bourbon. So it's already had stuff in there. So that's why there's tastes different to this single malt and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And the roasting of the barley and all that kind of stuff. So, same ingredients, but different techniques. And, everyone.
I do know.
You know, Dave.
I absolutely do know.
Oh, yeah, It started in 2004. Yeah, by founder, funnily enough, and master distiller Christian Krogstad, former brewer and winemaker. Are we playing the drinking game where you repeat all the time?
Anyone who's playing along this week is getting
will be smashed.
Yeah, won't know anything that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. Anyway, yeah, at that point... He wanted to make a distinctive American single malt inspired by the Northwest. So there we go. At the time, 2004, there was only about 3 dozen craft whiskey distilleries in the US. Now, apparently, there's about 2,200 producers. It's quite a lot.
That's so many.
Isn't
that
it?
is
I guess
so
they say
many.
producers, so that's probably all the other, all the big brands and the bourbons and all that kind of stuff as well. But I wouldn't say there's 2,200 single malt producers. Maybe there is, but
it's still a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. And they lead the way, apparently, according to their website. Yes,
according to their website. Their website looks like something that was probably designed on Squarespace.
Website's pretty
There's
cool.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Mate, there's a lot.
There's nothing wrong with that. But
further readings. They're getting the further reading point this week.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I like it. I like they've got sections. They've got a club. Nick, they've got a club.
They do. There's certain bottlings you can only buy through the club.
Oh, I like that. We've been fan of that in the past, and they have events and classes and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I like this. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
They've got a gifting concierge. What does that mean? Is it just a shop?
I didn't see that.
Welcome to Westward, Whiskey's gifting concierge. Answer these 7 questions and we'll match your selected preferences with an ideal bottle of our elevated, reimagined American single malt. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. It's pretty basic, but I like that idea. When someone says, I don't know what to buy, I like something from Westward, and then, what do they like? And you answer the questions. That's cool. Yeah, definite bonus points.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to pour some talk about what else they do. I mean, they do.
Is it a big distillery? I mean, it looks quite big, doesn't it?
I don't know.
I'm looking at the old website. Well, the barrel warehouse is big on the old pictures.
Yeah.
And the stills look pretty big. So, yeah.
It's not a small company. They I think they shift a few units. They've got a few different varieties. This is their core. It's the American single malt whiskey. They do a single malt stout cask.
Oh, man, I wish I'd got you that.
So before it goes into the barrel, I think it's still the virgin oak, but they season with stout from somewhere.
Stout seasoning.
A bit of stout seasoning sprinkled on the top, little dabble.
Mate, why does no one do that?
Do what?
When I went to the Guinness factory or whatever it was in Dublin, why in the gift shop was there not stout seasoning?
From where? What would it be though?
I don't know. Turn it into why not?
Well, you freeze dry it like you would coffee.
Yeah, Guinness salt. Why not?
Guinness salt.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to try that out,
mate, imagine getting a piece of meat, marinating it or rubbing it in Guinness, like with stout flavoured steak. Amazing.
As a liquid, what can't you just leave it in Guinness anyway?
You could do, I suppose. But still, you don't want. Sometimes you want to drink your Guinness. Why not have a salt as well?
I don't know where the saltiness would come from.
Not necessarily a salt, but it's something like a dry rub that's Guinness flavoured. Do you know my point?
No one likes a dry rub.
You don't look confused about this at all.
They also do a single malt Pinot Noir cask.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's this. It's the whiskey we have here, Dave. Then finished for another 2 years in Pinot Noir French oak.
That's quite a lot when it's only a 3-and-a-bit-year-old whiskey, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They do this as a cask strength as well. So you can get this bottling as a 62.5% ABV.
Why didn't I get that one?
Depending on where you get it. I mean, I looked on... Sorry, what's that shop I mention every week? Whisky Exchange. And they only had this bottling. And the old style, they've had like a rebrand and new bottles. The old style of bottling is what they had on the... what's that shop called? The one I mention every week? Whisky Exchange. Yes. Yeah. But they didn't have any of the other ones.
Maybe, I ordered it on Masters of Malt.
Yeah, maybe they do more.
I don't think they do. Just had a look. They've just got the one.
Well, we need to get in touch with Spirit Cartel, who we met at the whiskey show.
Yes, we do.
Who are their, what's the word? God, what is wrong with my brain today?
I don't know.
Distributors. Good Lord. Anyway, they do another one. They've started a range called Single Malt Elements. Yeah, they've got one which has a couple of different types of barley in it. It's called High Desert to Klamath Basin, which includes 2 different barleys from those places. So somewhere in the middle of a desert and somewhere called Klamath. And yeah, one of these barleys is called Full Pint. Anyway, who cares? But the cool thing about that is it's aged in Gariana oak, Dave.
No.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued to taste that one. Apparently there's only one cooperage that does that. It's probably the same one as the old Westland get it from. Anyway, I'm pretty thirsty.
Shall we?
Whiskey?
Smells like whiskey.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Cheers. Thanks for coming. That's the review of this week's Westward.
So the very first thing I smelt, I pulled it away as soon as I smelt it, was it took me back to school and that PVA glue.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was the very first thing. But I realised there's probably a lot more. It may have just been a quick whiff of that. I don't think it's going to carry on smelling like that, but I definitely got that.
For me, it's the first thing I smelt when we had it at the whiskey show, which was marzipan.
There it is.
And I think freshly cut grass as well. Isn't it?
It's tickled my nose buds. Yeah, the PVA glue thing's gone. I don't know what it was. As soon as maybe I've had something else which mixed in with it. I did have a cup of tea beforehand, and the combination created this PVA glue. It's gone straight away now.
It's funny how that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, there's an element. There's a sweet element to this, isn't there, on the nose? Yeah, I like the smell of this. There's like a dark chocolate in there as well. Chocolate limes. Oh, yeah.
In the mouth. That's lovely.
A bit of citrus in there.
Yeah.
Bacon
fruits, dark fruits. Load of flavour there, isn't there?
Oh my. Oh.
Yeah, got that kind of spiciness from cakey spicy, like Christmas cakey spicy.
That's very tasty.
It's very tasty. Oh, thank you. By the way, listeners, Dave bought me this as part of my 40th birthday present, so thank you, Dave.
You're welcome. There is a spiciness to this, isn't there?
There is. Yeah, it's a clovey kind of thing. There's a Christmas cakey thing to this. It's very comforting.
Are you getting a biscuity thing as well?
Describe the biscuit.
Like a ginger nut biscuit?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Absolutely. Yeah. It's very ginger nutty.
Yeah.
Wow, you nailed that, mate.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Smells like marzipan and grass and tastes like ginger nuts.
I mean, that's a great combo, isn't it?
That is a great combo. What goes well with ginger nuts?
Everything.
Cream.
Cream. Yeah. Those ginger nuts with the cream inside.
Yes. What are they called?
There's definitely a dark chocolate thing in the end as well, in the finish. And, dare I say it, mate, a pinch of tobacco, perhaps. So, you know that aftershave our friend wears? The vanilla tobacco?
Our friend?
Well, yeah, we've got a couple of different friends who wear it, so, yes. Okay. It's that really expensive aftershave. What's his name? The designer who does glasses as well.
Tom Ford.
He's got one called Vanilla Tobacco or Vanilla Tobacco.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Okay, go ahead.
The finish, on the finish alone, I'm getting that in my mouth, which is great because it's my favourite smell. So I'm a big fan of that.
I'm sure Tom Ford would love to know that you like his finish.
Oh, I love Tom Ford's finish.
Mate. Yeah, it's something special, isn't it?
It's really special. Really special. Mate, this is a good drop, this, isn't it?
It's a very good drop. Talk about the bottle.
Yeah, the bottle's a nice shape. It's a different shape. It's like a diamondy thing going on, isn't it? Some kind of like cultured diamond.
It's almost like the top, like going for like some sort of cut glass look to it. But it's got a couple of quite sharp edges on it. Quite a blunt, sharp. It's hard to describe.
You could do some damage with that bottle, couldn't you?
You could definitely do some damage, Yeah. And one thing, right? Remember you were around and I showed you the cork for this?
Yes.
Because we were worried. One thing we liked about the Westland, again, we're talking about it because it's from the same kind of area. It has a screw top. And the thing is, it has to go around the world.
A high quality screw top as well, not like the Jameson's one.
Yeah, it's great. And it means it can kind of travel long distances without...
fear of cork getting damaged or contaminated.
Get a bit moist.
Or, rubbished.
Yeah. With this, as soon as I opened it...
Yeah.
And I showed it to you, the cork was soaking wet and spongy.
It was. Yeah.
And it was also kind of discoloured, which it kind of still is. It's got there were some blue tinges to it, let's put it like that. The whiskey tastes fine, and I'm sure it is fine. But at some point, it's been on its side or something, and it's soaked the cork. And I had the same thing as well with the Whistle Pig. That cork came, and it was spongy and soaked, and all that. Again, it's come a long way. So that's the one thing I'm just worried about, that kind of thing with these whiskies, which have to come a long way, because if you go the other way, you've got the Pacific, and you've got to come all the way over here. So I'm just a bit worried about that. I'm sure they're fine, and the whiskey tastes fine, but it is something you have to consider when buying these kind of whiskies, which do come a long way, I would say. I think it did look a bit weird. There was a few like little bluey dark patches and stuff. Again, it tastes fine, but that's just something to consider. Sometimes it's a big chunky cork, good top to it, and again the bottle's cool, and you got all the information you want on there, all the normal slogans. But it's there. It's got your tasting notes on the back.
Oh, what does it say on the bottle?
100% malted barley, aged to perfection. Well, that's quite a statement. Elegant, robust, and fruity, with creamy vanilla and brown sugar notes, baking spice, lush fruit, and sweet malt. With a tobacco, nice one, Dave, dark chocolate and leather finish.
Vanilla and tobacco. There it is. That's leather. Did it say leather?
Leather finish, yeah. Ooh, kinky.
Not sure if I've got that leather finish. Have I got the leather finish? I might have the leather finish. Yeah, I have. Now, but it'd be only because it's been told to me.
Yeah, it's been led. Yeah, on the front, it's got raised in Oregon and born of our unique culture, climate, and abundant resources, etc.
It's just good, mate, isn't it? It's just a good. It's it does remind me of the. We shouldn't do this, but we are doing it. It does remind me a bit of the American oak. There is a little bit of hazelnut in there as well, in my opinion.
There is some hazelnut in there.
And a dark chocolate vibe that we get in that American oak, Westland. Yeah, I think it's about 50 or 60 quid. I can't remember what I paid for it. I think it was on sale at the time, but I think it was around that mark.
Okay. The bottle that was on the Whiskey Exchange was 64.45.
Right.
That may be less elsewhere, depending.
Well, I did get it in a sale, so shall I just do a little... I'm going to do... What's it called again? American Single Malt. If I just put it into Google, House of Malt, 58.65. Whiskey Exchange, 64.45. Master of Malt, 58.65. So
58. Spare price.
58. But it does look like that Whiskey Exchange one is a different shaped bottle and everything, isn't it? So maybe it's just a slightly different version.
I think it's just older because I think it's a rebrand.
Right.
Maybe you'll get the new shape bottle, but on the website it's the old one. It's just a classic round bottle with a black label. So I think they've had a rebrand since then. I do like how unique this bottle is, though. It is a good uniqueness. I haven't seen the shape bottle anywhere. So
yes, I think that's a very good value for money whiskey, in my opinion, for a bottle of whiskey that's between 50 and 60 quid or around 60 quid. Lots of flavour. I mean, that's similar to the American oak. A little bit more than the American oak, isn't it? The Westland. But now, within the margins,
I think it's around the same because I think they've only brought down the price of the American oak because they've probably ramped up production and kind of shipped a lot more to bring the price down. Because if you remember, the other whiskies in the core range was still that 65 quid, but they brought the American oak. And remember I talked about the other one, which was just their core single malt or something, which they're bringing out. That's not available here yet. And I'm not sure it's actually launched in the States yet. So that's new. That's not even out yet. But I think it's in the same ballpark. And I really like it. It's similar, but different enough for me to want to buy this as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you've got a marzipan thing, you got it slightly different, and now it's just a ginger nut thing.
Yeah. This is such a great drinkable whiskey, though, isn't it? This is one, 45% you said, wasn't it? So it's easy to drink. You could have a session on this, couldn't you? It's easy to have a couple of these and in an evening with some friends round. It's shareable. At that price, you don't feel like you're going through a load of stuff that you don't want to drink. That's it ticks so many boxes in my mind at that price.
No, you're correct. Yes. There we go.
Okay.
Cool.
Shall we give it a score in, mate?
Absolutely.
You're listening to Whisky and Things with Nick Kent and Dave Giles.
I accidentally put 11 in the would you like another sip. I didn't notice I'd done it until the end. I got to the end. I was like, what percent? 108%. How has that happened?
That's a new record.
But would I like another sip? No, I would like 11.
11?
11.
Turn out to 11. Okay, let's go with that.
Excellent. Well, that's a good score, isn't it? Look at that.
It's a very good score.
Look at that.
Dave has given it an 80. Good, solid 80. And I've given it an 82.86, giving it an average of 81.43.
Just jumped straight into fourth. Above last week's FANNYS Bay.
Oh, I'm sorry, FANNYS Bay.
We're really sorry. We're really, really sorry. Nice of them to get in contact this week, isn't it?
It is nice. That was part of my any other business. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about that. Well, we can talk about that now.
We'll talk about it now. Hey, Dave, you got any other business?
What have you got any other business, mate?
Well, last week we talked. Obviously, we did FANNYS Bay, and you might be talking about a different.
No, I think about the same thing.
Remember, I said there was a third party in the
third member of staff.
First member of staff. Well, she got in contact on Facebook saying she's going to call herself Audrey now. Was it Audrey I called her?
It was Audrey.
Audrey, yeah. Great podcast and score. Thank you. That was on Facebook.
Because what's her real name, Nick?
Her name's Irene.
Irene, close.
I just didn't write it down.
Close.
For some reason.
I mean, not a zillion miles away.
No. Anyway, I apologise. And I apologise again, Irene. You are a vital cog in the machine of FANNYS Bay.
Absolutely, she is.
So, but yeah, it was nice of them to get in contact, and and they shared it on their Facebook. No, they shared it on their Instagram and stuff. So thank yous, FANNYS Bay.
Maybe that's why we're big in South Korea now.
Really?
Who knows?
Is that near FANNYS Bay?
I don't know. Maybe they like FANNYS Bay.
Perhaps.
Maybe they're intrigued by FANNYS Bay in South Korea.
Maybe that word means something else. South Korea.
Maybe the word fanny means something else in South Korea as well. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. It means different things all over the place, doesn't it? Fanny pack.
So. Fanny pack. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's go back to this whiskey.
Yeah, good score. Good score, good whiskey. Glad we got this one. Would buy again. Would buy it for other people for a present. Would definitely give it to people when they came over and shared it with people.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially someone perhaps who hadn't had much whiskey before. I think it's a really good doorway into so many whiskies. It's because it's so easy to drink and it's got so much flavour. It's
another good, solid example of an American single malt, and it's a
agreed. That's two we've tried, two we like. Well, three we've tried, three or four we've tried. Yeah, well, 2 distilleries we've tried. We both like them both.
Yeah, we do, and I want to try some more. Absolutely loving them.
It's one of those great things we discovered by doing this podcast. American single malt. Who knew? We didn't.
We didn't. Now you do, listeners.
123 shows ago, we definitely didn't.
We knew. Well, I knew all about Tasmanian whiskey back.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'm doing callbacks so people might not know if they haven't listened to episode 1. Because why would you have?
Well, they might have done.
Anyway.
They might have done that excellent episode.
It was a great episode. Mate, episodes were so long back then, weren't they? Good Lord.
Yeah, should we wrap this up?
Yeah, that's a good point. What am I doing? Giving myself more work. Let's do a sting.
You're listening to Whisky and Things.
Right, let's now do the shortest outro ever. I just wanted to put a sting in there. I don't know why. That meant in the edit.
He's just giving himself more work to do.
Just giving myself some more work to do.
Excellent.
Anyway, have you got any other business, Dave?
Well, I think it's probably worth saying, Nicholas, we told our Patreon subscribers now that we've only got 2 more shows left of the weekly format, haven't we?
Yes. We think 125 episodes is about right for a season 1. It's pretty much what everyone else does, I think. Isn't that the average? 125 episodes in a season?
I'm pretty sure that's it, yeah.
Yes. So, after episode 125, we're going to have a bit of a break or just see what happens.
Probably stop.
Indefinite hiatus. Let's put it that way.
Indefinite hiatus. Yeah, we're going to do a One Direction and have an indefinite hiatus.
We're both going solo.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes, we'll both be starting our own whiskey podcasts.
Yeah, and then we'll come back after 10 years.
That?
We'll reform and we're going to sell tickets. It's going to be massive.
And South Korea will be huge.
Yes, China will be like, oh my God, we'll go do live events in China. Live whiskey tastings.
But essentially we're just very busy, and we figured it's a good time. We've done enough. We've done loads of whiskey. We've learned so much. So much. Yeah. And we made a lot of good friends and met a lot of cool people and connected with a lot of great people. So we'd love to carry on, but we just don't have the time.
Just need to concentrate on some other things at the moment.
Yeah, basically. But that doesn't mean we'll never do these again.
No.
We'll keep everything up for now. That's not coming down. None of the episodes will come down. And every now and then we might, if we're having a whiskey and we fancy it, we might record a little review. Socials will keep going. So if we've had anything interesting, we'll keep posting about it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we still have whiskies we haven't tried yet. We haven't done. So, there's always opportunities, and we might get to a point where we are in a position to maybe want to do one or two or maybe start again. We don't know. It's open-ended, as I said. But after 125, we're taking a little break, everyone.
A big break.
So sorry, Jeff Whiskey, you're going to have to find something else to listen to on the way to work.
Space and Things.
Yeah. I might even try listening to Space and Things.
Episode 100 this week, mate.
Congratulations. Yeah. Have a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very kind of you.
Yes. There we go. So enjoy this episode, and there'll be 2 more after this.
2 more.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yes. Mate, the Angels have had their share.
And I've had mine, thanks to you. Again, thank you for this.
No worries. Great drop. Great drop.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming.
Whisky and Things has been brought to you by And Things.